I woke up, soaked from a bad dream. I've been sweating like crazy. Got up, skin stuck to the bed sheets. Open window for a cold breeze. I have nothing to eat in my kitchen. Old coffee and yesterday's pizza. Listen, I promised to clean my floor, but I have no interest to fulfill my chores today. As long as the sun is shining and the weather is showing its face, just like me, it's been hiding. People painting the world with its rays. So I skip on my obligations, like so many times before. Reach for the door out to reclaim my faith in the making. God, I am here for the taking. Oh, it's a matter of opinion if I'm right, but I'm leaving off for now to go outside, putting chores and obligations on a pile. See them towering over me, know it too high.
Yo, I had it with this shit, man. Yo, I gave it all I got, but it seems like it's not enough. Now I'm sitting there watching all these bills piling up like, damn, I need a change for the better. Scratch that, I need a change for the cheddar. Gotta get up, 9 to 5, have a regular life. With the knowledge knowing that I'm not a regular guy. See, I'll be more than me's a regular. I like up the miss rhyme with my spectacular mind. Composing these delicate rhymes, but I'ma design a different future for me. I had a good run with it, but it just ain't what it used to be. And truthfully, I trust nobody in this industry. They only come around when they want something like a fucking leech. But I'm cool, mama didn't raise no fools, so I'ma do what I do and chunk up the dues. And I'll be back in the booth when the stars align. But meanwhile,
it's a matter of opinion if I'm right, but I'm leaving off for now to go outside, putting chores and obligations on a pile. See them towering over me, know it too high. It's a matter of opinion if I'm right, but I'm leaving off for now to go outside, putting chores and obligations on a pile. See them towering over me, know it too high. It's a matter of opinion if I'm right, but I'm leaving off for now to go outside, putting chores and obligations on a pile. See them towering over me, know it too high.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Walls P,
It's
and
your
we
boy Ray the Dawn.
and we got
And
our
it's your girl, Lady M.
back again, back again. Glad to have you on the show. And yeah, there's our second time doing a live or whatever. So yeah, to those who are tuning in, we're gonna be having engaging with the viewers and everything like that. So we're gonna have call-ins. We're gonna be engaging, with the people in the chat and everything like that. The process will be once we're doing the call-ins, we'll display the phone number where people can call, and you can call in or you can send a text to that particular phone number so that you can be actually on the show and post your question or give your 2 cents or whatever it is that you want to do for engaging with the live stream. So Ray, do you want to fill the people in on what the subject of conversation is going to be for today?
Man, it's all about the entanglements.
Yeah.
Yep. All
As
about these entanglements and these community questions is that have been posed. So today's first question actually is what is your true reason, to be married for marriage? Is it security or is it really love?
You want
You
to
know.
take that one, Lady M?
All right. So I've had the opportunity to be around different groups of women. And, often this question, it comes up. And I noticed
Okay.
that people who have been married before, they're like, forget it. This time, love don't pay the bills. It's about security, the money, blah, 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 But
Mhm.
for others, like if the 20-year-old, I guess the 20-year-old version of myself, if I want to answer it, would probably have said security. But at me at this age, I would pretty much say that it's more so for love because I can handle my own. I'm not looking for a man to take care of me. So it got to be a real thing. And that's where it's at for me. So I can see
All right.
two sides, both sides of women.
So if you had to pick one, what side would you
Hmm.
be leaning? What side would you be leaning on?
Oh, for me, it's love all the way. I
Oh,
could take care of myself financially.
okay. See, for me, I would have to say when you're young, I say it's love. When you're older, I gotta say security. And when I say security, it's not more so the financial security. It's more so what can this person do for me? Like how can they benefit me to help me, get to that next level or whatever? Or is it things such as does this person's characteristics, the way they do things, does it annoy me to the point like it's gonna drive me crazy? You know what I'm saying? Because once you
Hmm.
find that person you get comfortable with and like your negative attributes, they could just like dust it off their shoulder for that individual, that goes a long way. Like
Mhm.
for me, for instance, I know I'm a piece of work. So the person I'm dealing with it has to be able to deal with my mood swings, got to deal with my smart mouth and, things of that nature. Now, I'm not as bad or whatever because I made adjustments and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, that's me to the core. So it's like, I personally think people as they get older get married for the security as opposed to love because love can come and go at any time. So if you marry basically for love and that love is gone, then what do you have? The,
That is true. Now, if you want to put in other factors to that as well, yes, it needs to be some compatibility. Of course. All right. First, let me say this. I used to waitress, right, at a
okay,
at a jazz place, and I would never forget. It was the most beautiful couple I've ever seen. They were older. They were dressed up. The man was playing the piano. The woman was singing. And pretty much I asked them at the end of the night, I said, what keeps y'all love alive? Like how did you know she was the one? And how did you know that he was the one? At the
okay,
end of the day, what they told me, it doesn't matter about the looks, this, that, and the third what that person can do at the end of the day is who's willing to pull up with my ish. She was willing to put up with my stuff, and
yeah,
I was willing to put up with her stuff. Exactly what you said. And
yeah,
that's what made that beautiful relationship because they were
yeah,
willing to stick it out through thick and thin.
yeah, yeah.
So now, in addition to love, now that you say the other portion of it, of
Uh
course you
huh.
have to fit. You have to fit me. I also, but in addition to love, marriage is a business to me because I'm
Yep.
a businesswoman.
I highly agree with you. I believe
This.
marriage is. I look at it as a job, based pretty much.
Facts.
Yeah. Go on.
So I'm just saying, if there are certain things that I would like to accomplish, I would hope you being my mate can fit into that and help me excel it to that next level when you say it in that way. Not per se excel me. Yeah, you do want to make that person a better person, but you're supposed to already come complete. I shouldn't have to build you up. So
That's
in that aspect, you understand what I mean? It got to be love. We both complete. We come together. We make this thing blossom. You know.
but yes, it's love, but that's also a little sprinkle of security. you
Man, look,
know
look,
what I'm
look,
saying?
look,
You gotta
look,
have
look.
you have that little compatibility and stuff like that, and the person can put up with your mess, so to speak. that's a sense of security. Am I wrong on that one?
Yeah, you right in that aspect. But you know what, Tina? I think Tina said it best. What's love got to do with?
Bump that. I gotta love you because that's what's gonna make me put up with your stuff. If I don't love you, you could sit there and doo doo on yourself for all I care. This
Listen,
is
listen.
What,
I'm gonna
go
tell
ahead.
you what it is. I'm gonna tell you the straight facts. Okay, it's not really love that's gonna help you put up with the person. It's more so if that person is gonna excite you. Is if that person is gonna keep that spice? If that person, all right. So the way I look at marriage as not really a business,
Mhm.
more so a partnership, right? An aspect of you're a woman, okay, you know, if you're my wife, hey, I want to see you in some lingerie. I want you to walk around. No, well, not all the time, you know, if I have kids, but
Please,
once in a
don't.
while, walk around butt naked with some lingerie. That's the type of that's how you keep the relationship spicy. Now the issue is when nowadays a lot of marriages fail because you know they don't keep it spicy. They
because
don't
they
keep
don't
it
keep
fresh.
it spicy, or the men get the 7 year itch, or it's not just men cheating, or people get the 7 year
It's not
itch.
just men you cheating. Don't throw us under the bus now.
That's what I just said. Not just the men, but some people get the 7 year itch. This,
I'm saying, but you can't. The thing about it is, you can't be mad when your significant spouse has been. If you're talking to your spouse and you're saying, "Hey, I need this X, Y, and Z. This is what I like," and they're still not paying attention, they can't be mad when you go look for it somewhere else. At the end of the day, because
I,
you reached out to them. That's how I feel.
in essence, I kind of agree with you on that because it's like if you've been pounding at this, pounding at this, pounding at this, and it's not being done, then clearly you can't live up to that fulfillment. And
And
my thing,
it.
and here's the
Mhm.
you
thing,
didn't know that before you married her?
no, but here's the thing. Sometimes people can switch up when comfortability sets in.
Right, comfortability is a huge factor.
You start dating somebody, you see the guy holding the door or used to give the guy a massage all the time, whatever. Once comfortability set in, eventually you stop doing those little things. So it's not more so about, you know, wasn't they doing that before? Usually people tend to get lax when comfortability set in. Even like
So
at work, used to come in on 5 minutes early, 10 minutes early, put in that extra work. After about 2, 3 years, you coming in on the dot or 5 minutes late. You're not doing as much work as you get what I'm saying? So comfortability will do that to you. So I don't think it's more so they're not doing it, you know?
yeah, we
Well,
had a
I
question. We actually have
Go
a question that was posted in the comments by
okay.
Jay. I might slaughter the Saget. Saget, yeah,
Yeah. That's
yeah.
Junior from the sports.
Oh
JR.
right, right. Okay, okay, okay. I mean, it's pretty simple, man. Like the occasional flowers. Do something romantic, like take it to the beach, have a nice beach picnic. Just bring look. I know it's hard for some dudes, but like, bro, like you gotta be a girl for a minute, think, and bring that emotional, romantic aspect out of yourself. You gotta take, candlelight dinner. I don't care if you don't know how to cook. Order something and say you make it. That's how I feel. Look, if you can't cook for nothing, Boston Market is a lifesaver. Okay, let me get this straight for y'all.
You know
okay.
that's hilarious. But yeah, man, I don't know. I feel like love would be like if you got like a top five. I think love for me personally. I think love would be on like number three, number four.
Right,
Because
right, right.
Why is that?
So
Do you
love,
feel like you can grow to love a person?
yeah, you can grow to love a person. But what I'm saying is when you as time go on, you can like as time go on in a relationship, you can fall in and out of love. But what makes you hold on is the compatibility of what that person brings to you, like that
right,
comfort or things of that nature. It's not always love that keep people together.
right, right.
That's my opinion. Like I said, you may feel differently, but yeah, for me,
Yeah. It's a matter of opinion. Let me tell you, you can fall in and out of love. There's a difference of love. There's unconditional love, there's in
Uh-huh.
love, and there's just regular love. Unconditional
That's
love, you can do whatever the H you want to do, and at the end of the day, I'm still gonna love you. That the mother's love, that's unconditional love. You're full in love, I'm just head over heels over you, googly eyes, whatever. But my love, even if I fall out of love for you, I'm not gonna see no harm come to you. I still love you to some degree. So love don't go nowhere. It's a thin line between love and hate, but at the end of the day, people act out because they love the person.
But here's the thing. Let me ask you this though. It can be love, right? But the other factors outside of love, when you fall in, when like love, the love isn't as strong, whatever, and then you got the person who like, go to the left or whatever, and is dealing with somebody else or whatever, and they could be like, yes, I love that person, but they tend to not completely jump because they're like, yes, I love this person, but look at all the things that my significant other actually do for me. And that keeps them from actually taking that big leap of faith because they're like, yeah, I love this person, but this doesn't mean that that new person is going to do all these things that the current person I'm with is doing. So now it becomes a security matter.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think security is what holds things together as opposed to love.
I can
Love
see
can
that.
to bring it together, but at the end of the day, long term, I believe it's security. So what do you have to say to that? I would
Okay.
love to take.
We can agree to disagree. I guess in that aspect, it's a little bit of both when you put it in that way.
Uh-huh.
Um, let's go to that comment about the love languages. Do y'all know about that? Because y'all real one sided over here. This is
Well,
what
yeah. See, here's the thing, Tawana.
because
That's
y'all
Tawana.
want y'all ladies to walk around in lingerie and everything, but do you know how to show your lady affection?
For me, I'm taking sex out of the equation or whatever because sex is not important to everybody.
Right,
Right.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So even though sex is important, what happens if, so, God forbid, something happens and that person, your significant other, is on bed rest or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So those
Yeah.
are other factors that you got to look into. So that's why I took sex, out of the equation. Don't get me wrong. For a man, sex is very important. Like,
Facts.
here's the thing, like when it comes to sex, like like I was thinking about it too, whatever. This is how I know sex. Like you have women that love sex just as much as men, but the reason why biologically sex is important to men, if you have a man that's practicing abstinence, guess what? He's still gonna have to release in the form of a wet dream. What does that tell you? Your body biologically has to release.
Mm-hmm.
True.
You see what I'm saying? So
I, I I like to bring a point. Yeah, the sex part is not important in to some people, I would say, because I've also known of another relationship. I won't mention any names,
yeah.
where a woman's mate or husband per se was had a sickness that
Okay.
caused him, not to no longer get hard. And basically they still loved each other to the point where they knew they was going to stay together, but he
Mhm.
didn't mind her going out to date other men. I won't say date other, well, do her thing with other men.
Yeah,
You know
pretty
what I mean?
much.
So that's it's funny you should bring that up because our next question is actually, is it okay to be in love with two people at the same time
Oh, and
and feel?
before we get into that, I know Tawana love these type of topics, whatever, because she's in the comment section. You definitely can call in, or if you want to partake within the conversation, let me pull it up.
Please, I need a
You could you
lady because they're trying to
could
gang up on me.
you could definitely hit that email. You could definitely hit up that email or text that number, and I'll send you the link to the chat. That goes for anybody. So if you want to, get in on it, hey, text that number. I'll send you the link, or just call that number, and you can get in on the conversation. All right. So yeah, Ray, hit him up with the next question.
So our next question is it okay to have or to be in love with two people at the same time and if you're feeling out each situation?
So pretty much, can you be like Lost Boy said? I'm in the mix. I'm in the love with two women. All right.
left to right.
Okay. So I guess you can be in love with two different people at the same time and still make a long term commitment, because just because you're in a long term relationship or married or whatever, you can you can love somebody else, or even if you at work with somebody and through conversation you're like, damn, I, like, just so happen fall in love with the person. The the main thing is acting upon it. You know what I'm saying? For me, that's where the issue comes in, if you act upon it. But as far as like loving somebody else, think about it. if you if your spouse passed away, whatever, and you wind up remarrying or whatever, this, that, and the third, even though that spouse is gone, you still love that person. So you get what I'm saying? You still in love with that person. Or if you moved out of a relationship, you're still in love with your ex or whatever the case may be, but you moved on. And if that person come in your presence, those feelings come back again, whatever, that's still technically being in love with two people. It's just
Mhm.
the fact that you're choosing not to act on those emotions. So I think, yeah, it's possible to be in love with two people and still at the same time move on and like have a long term commitment as
I
far as
look.
to marriage.
I'm gonna use the Muslim religion as a platform for this conversation, this part of the conversation, because you find in Muslim religion a lot of Muslim men, they have multiple wives and they
Mhm.
love them all equally. They all get treated the same. So it's definitely possible, and I feel like sharing is caring.
Yeah.
We,
I
a
said,
Muslim, have to be able to take care of all his
yep,
wives.
Right,
He has
right,
yep,
more
right,
wives
right,
than he can take care of. So if
right,
you are
right, right,
unable to split your love with those women and treat them all the same, then you cannot do that just for your
right,
own pleasure. This
right.
way,
Like
okay.
I hear what you're saying, and that's completely correct. They have to be able to take care of those women, and emotionally, mentally, and physically for all the needs and everything.
but let
But
but let hold on before you go on. Let's be real, Ray. Most dudes would look at it as just to have multiple wives and know they don't got the financials or whatever to support the women or whatever. But yeah, go on.
you know what I'm saying? But that's I'm just using that as an example of a situation where you have one wife and you have another wife and you love them both equally, and they're both okay with it. Like that's an example of a situation there. Now, do I firmly believe that you can love two people at the same time? It's possible, yes, it's possible. Um, I feel at some point though, you're gonna love one person more than the other. That's how I feel. I
That's if
feel
you
it's
that's if you stay in communication and keep them in your presence.
right, right, right. But I'm saying though, eventually it's gonna be certain characteristics of one person that's gonna outweigh the characteristics of the other person. That's how I feel that's gonna go down. Like I feel like even if you love two people, one person is gonna do something that's gonna be like, and then the other person might do something that would surprise you. You'd be like, okay, all right.
Now, are you talking in the aspect of not getting into a committed relationship? You're dating the two people and fell in love with them at the same time, and now you're trying to pick which direction to go.
I'm saying an aspect of either dating or even if you already in a marriage, three-way marriage type situation. Because
I
Uh,
agree with Big 76. He said all them women equals the dream women they want, just broken up in pieces. That's the truth. You're dating different people to equal up that to that one person that you were looking for. You're dating these women for different reasons. This one may
all right.
cook good just the way you like it. This one may satisfy you in the bedroom just the way you like it. And this one may be your business person just the way you like it. So I totally agree with what that person said.
Okay.
This,
If we're talking in the all right, before I give my point, whatever, we got somebody that want to come into the chat. Are you guys good with that? Not coming
yeah,
to the chat, coming to the live stream. All right. All right. So if you're talking in a sense like that or whatever, yes. If it's like kind of a competition thing or whatever, then yeah, being in love with two different people is going to make the situation complicated and that much harder for you to make this decision because you're going to be in constant, constant competition. Like, okay, this person's doing this, but this person's not doing that. But this person does do this, and this person not. So you're always going to be in competition with it. So with that being said, the one that you see is that I guess you see like you have more of a future with, like realistically, because let's be real, people look at it as a certain perk that they want that they can't let go of. So you got to look at it as what perk is there that you can let go of as opposed to the other one, and
Right.
then make your decision there to be all in and kind of go with that decision.
You hear that, Jada Pinkett Smith? No entanglements.
So, Tawana, I sent you the link, so let me know if you got it. I definitely sent her the link. So, but yeah, yeah. If we talk, like I said, if that's the sense we're talking about, then yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna make the job a lot difficult. All right. So, do y'all want to tackle some of the stuff that's in the comment section, or
Yeah, we can tackle some of this
Yeah.
stuff.
all right?
Uh,
So, can y'all see it or no? Can y'all see the comment section?
we
All
can
right.
see the comment
So,
section.
so which one do y'all want to tackle? Scrolling through.
Um,
All right. Let me see.
let me see. Let me see.
So we
Scroll.
Yeah.
got.
They,
So we got. All right. So we got Tawana on the line. So.
Um,
Tawana, what's going on?
Hello.
hi, Tawana.
How are you guys? It's been a
we're
long
good.
time.
What's going on?
You know I had to jump in here. Y'all thought there for a second we was gonna have this conversation and not be here.
Okay.
How are you? How are you?
Wait, Tawana,
Everyone in the private chat.
Tawana.
do me a favor.
Have this conversation and not
You
be
see
here.
the settings button? You see the settings button on the bottom?
She froze.
She fro. Oh,
Oh, there she
I
goes.
gotta, I gotta make her change her settings. All right, Tawana, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You see the settings button on the bottom?
Yeah.
You gotta click it, and you gotta go in advanced settings and turn off and click the echo cancellation and noise suppression because we getting a lot of feedback, like hearing ourselves in the
I
background.
know. I had both of the screens open, so I just closed it.
Oh, okay. All right. So you good then? All right. So yeah. All right.
So are you
So
still getting it or no?
nah, not no more. All right. So
Yeah.
I saw you were going ham in the comment section. So I
Because
want I want to hear you.
first, and then I'm like, okay, they're not seeing what I'm saying. So let me go over here real quick. Because y'all was hitting a lot of different things, and I'm like, wait a minute, like we're not about to do this. Y'all know we're not about to do this, right?
All right. So yeah. Let's hear
So
your take on
I'm
it.
gonna start like this from the beginning of the whole conversation.
Mhm.
When it comes to marriage, when it comes to relationship, every relationship is different, period. Every relation is different, whether you got with that person for security, whether you got with that person for love, whether you got with that person for intimacy that nobody even discuss nowadays, because 9 times out of 10, men don't even know what a love language is. That's why I put that up there, just saying. And over time, even in a marriage, sometimes you lose it. You don't know which way it went, whether it went left, whether it went right, or where y'all miscommunicated at. That's in just a long time relationship after a year, 2 years. Definitely when you guys have busy lives and schedules. That's just human nature. It's not purposely, it's not intentionally, but it happens. You understand what I'm saying? Then y'all said this, you could be in love with two people, sweetheart. Then when the one person's missing something, which is why he's with the other one in the first place.
Right.
And then you're never fully in love. You may love what they can do with whatever it is this one's missing, but it's like the 80-20 rule. 20% can't amount up to 80 because you know if you drop this one, you're going to lose all of this. And you know if you drop this one, you're going to miss this.
But here's the thing.
So I don't
If
see
you're-
you being in love. I wouldn't say in love. You may love them. You may deeply care for them. In love, nah, that's a bit much. It's a lust factor overall, in my opinion. I don't see you being in love. I see you in love with one person and you lust after the other and you got the best of both worlds, baby. And if your life is like that, please enjoy it.
They
That's
want
what
the
you're-
cake and eat it too.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Let my man speak. Let my man speak.
That only holds true if you're talking a long-term relationship. If you're talking long-term relationship, cool. But if you're talking about you're dating and you fell in love with two different people, your love can be strong for those two people at the. You get what I'm saying? Even though you're saying this person got this
Once
person got
again,
that,
they're not in. It's not in love. You're still trying to figure it out. You're still trying to figure out what
but,
you want.
but how can you tell? How can you tell a person exactly what they feel? Nobody can tell. That's your opinion on the matter, but you can't tell somebody how they feel.
Once
You know
Facts.
again,
what I'm saying?
my
Somebody getting
opinion is that
shortchanged.
is not love, though. That is my opinion. I don't believe that's love. If you are in a
I hear
dating
you,
phase and you're dating multiple people, you can deeply care for multiple people. But once your heart starts to speak, it's gonna speak more towards more than one person. One is gonna be deeper than the other.
but here's the.
Absolutely.
I understand that, but y'all making it seem like love is just something that appears out of thin air. No, it's certain
No, it
aspects
doesn't.
that.
It's over
Listen,
time
listen,
and
listen,
spent.
listen, 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 listen. This the
No.
time that's spent. But what you're missing is it's certain actions that somebody does or people do
Mhm.
to make you want to love them. So regardless, at the end of the day, if you're saying, "Oh, it's a lust" or whatever, your actions still dictate why a person is gonna fall in love with you because they're like, "Yo, I love this person because they do so much for me." Yada yada. So yes, love comes with actions, no matter how you slice it. No
Facts.
matter how you slice it, loves come with actions. Now, once you're in love, then the actions don't matter because you already reached that pinnacle where your feelings come above all. That's my opinion on it.
But
When
But
you are
listen,
in love with someone, you come to
isn't
a
uh-huh,
love
point
a
where you
feeling?
just
Let me
say,
just get that confirmation.
but
Isn't
listen,
love
but
a feeling
listen,
though?
listen. How do you come to love
I
a
just need a
person?
yes or no to that question though.
Love
Isn't
is
love
a
a
feeling.
feeling? Okay.
Love is a feeling. But how
Okay.
do you come to love a person? You don't just walk down the street and say, "You know what? I love that person." Why do you love them? Because they did an action or something to bring you to that level to love them.
That's
So
facts.
it requires
Absolutely. But
action.
once again,
That,
it's time
uh-huh,
spent. It's time spent getting to know someone over time. You're going. It's just like when you was talking earlier, and you was
uh-huh.
talking about how couples are together and how it
Yeah.
could be over security or love. You can fall in love with someone, absolutely, just like you can fall out of love with someone. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's always something that person can give. But at the end of the day, when you really, really ask yourself and really think about it, just like I can fall in love, I can fall out of love. Just like you can do things to make me fall in love with you can do things to make me fall out of love. But it's always a deeper connection. It's just like
Exactly.
intimacy. Y'all
You
brought up
just made
sex.
my point. You
Y'all
just
brought up
made my
sex,
point.
right? Y'all brought up sex, and I forget who said it in the comments, but he was like, "I'm tired of sex. My wife could go play with a toy. I don't care."
That's my
At the
yeah.
end
That's
of the
that.
day, believe it or not, you can have intimacy without sex. Me, guys,
right,
we had this conversation many times, and some people don't get it. There's some people who yearns for intimacy without that at all, which makes their connection deeper, which is why that love is there. No matter what transpires, like how can you stay in that relationship? He did this because that intimacy level is something that you cannot break. That connection cannot be broken.
That's very true. But with
You
that
see what
being
I'm
said,
saying?
but here's the thing. Like you just said, everybody's situation is different. So
Absolutely.
although your take may be right in how you look at it, but to somebody else whose sex is important, guess what? But whoever to somebody else whose sex is important, that deep connection, whatever, goes out the window because
Is
that's not their thing.
right.
You're seem like that's the one universal thing, and that's not everybody's cup
It's
of
not
tea.
absolutely no. I said this is my opinion. I've been
Oh,
said
okay,
that. I said that when I
okay.
first started.
My
I
bad,
said it in the
my
middle.
bad.
My perspective and my opinion is as fits. I said
She
that from Rip. And like I said in the beginning, everyone love language, their connection or love for someone is always going to be different. You can't dictate that for somebody. But I said that as conversation. That's
so
very
so let's
true.
so let's touch on this then. All right. So
Okay.
do you guys think that a relationship can be successful if both parties have kids and both parties have to deal with each other's opposite baby mother or baby father?
It depends. It depends
It
on
depends on co-parent relationship.
majority.
yeah. It depends on the co-parent relationship. It depends on if the two have animosity between them. Like it's a lot of factors that depends on if it can work or not. Now,
Yes,
of
I
course, it
agree.
can work. because you have multiple situations where it's co-parenting involved and it works out, but it depends on the individual. It
let's
depends on
let's say
on the
let's
of
say
the
You gotta be a little more specific with
hypothetically,
that one.
let's say hypothetically that the couple are in love or whatever,
okay,
but the the kids parent
the
the
other
kids
kid's
parent,
parent.
right, they're also still in love with that person, whatever, and they're trying to be petty.
It's not going to work because there's still an emotional attachment that somebody's holding on to. So it's going to
And
bring
that's when you
drama.
call bitter baby daddy and baby mom trouble. That's where that comes from. I think that's what they say
Yeah,
now.
But my thing is
yeah.
right. You say it, you guys say it's not gonna work, but I feel I have seen personal relationships where friends of mine have been in that situation, but they have made it work with the person that they were in love with. You get what I'm saying?
Here's the
The
thing.
people that are in love, it always can work with them.
Yeah, yeah.
Why? Because they're in love and they're trying to bond and blend their family. That can work. Seen it, witnessed it, all that goodness. The issue is when the parents meet the other half. Like, I'm in love, we getting married. My kids, your kids gonna be around each other. So that now becomes not only them two co-parenting, but you being that step parent to co-parent too. You understand what I'm saying? So if that co-parent, whether it's me and another the baby mama, she has to be understanding and mature enough to understand that that's just what it is. At this point, the same thing with the baby daddy. He has to understand I'm moved on, have my life, and we're co-parent, and this is what it is. But there's always has to be a respected ground. So if you know I'm dating, you know it's getting serious, and they need to meet. That needs to be a conversation. Why? Because we're around each other's kids. At the end of the day, this is why you hear so many different stories where these boyfriends is being on this kid, but nobody knows, and mama don't know. No, that don't work.
That only holds weight if there's no feelings involved. If the other person has feelings involved, then it's going to cause complications.
Always.
The only way it won't be complications is if the two people can put their feelings aside or whatever, or their drama aside, and say, look, it's strictly about the children, about what, like, their well-being and the children connecting and all of that good
Absolutely. Absolutely. But you also have those bitter individuals who are hurt or mad and just want them to hurt and and pay for it too. You have that. You have people who try to torment the person being with somebody and try to torment and get that person out the picture so it just be conflict. That person's never happy. Misery loves company. It's out there. It's just all over. But it's about the woman and the man who's saying, I can deal with that and I can't deal with that. That's really what it comes down to.
Let me hear what Marilyn got to say. What's your take on it?
Okay, I can speak from a perspective of growing up in a blended family. And from what I've seen, my stepfather, love him dearly, he has multiple baby mothers. And therefore, there were different, I've got to see all sides of it. I got to see some of his baby mothers who, just strictly was there for the children or whatever. They respected my mother as his wife and so forth, and everything worked out cool. But then you had one that maybe still had feelings, or maybe that man was still going back and forth in between the two women. And that's what caused the havoc between that one. And they didn't want to see that person, didn't want to see my mother and this man happy because she feels like my mother's taken someone from him and her children, So I've seen all aspects of it. And it definitely has to be, if the man does not set the boundary and say, look, this is my wife, we have children, or this, that, and the third, if he doesn't put his foot down, that woman will always feel like she can come on to him, or she has him, or they share a child together. So at the end of the day, they always will be together. That man has to say, I respect my wife, and this is what it is, in order for it to move to the next step. And that's my thing.
I agree with you. It has to be an up close and personal thing off rip. Because like you said, when you still sleeping with your baby mom, but you're trying to pursue something else, that does a lot of damage. I'm with you. I come from a blended family. My stepfather raised me. God rest his soul. He he did what he needed to do. But even looking back, I always respected that man. Even me being as a stepmother today and trying to work out with mama. But mama don't want to hear it because mama in her own little worlds. At the end of the day, you can try, but you only can do but so much if that person's not willing.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to.
That's why you got to put those kids first.
It comes down to the parents and putting the kids first. Like that's the only way it's gonna work. No matter how you slice it, that's the only way it's gonna work. Yeah, in my opinion. That's in my opinion, pretty much. Let me see what's going on in the comment section. If anybody
Yeah.
trying to over, let me see. So
I didn't see no.
we have we have if you do fall in love with another person while in a relationship or marriage, it should be communicated to both people so they have the option to either stay or bow out gracefully.
I agree.
know that.
I don't come second to no woman. I'm not gonna compete. I'm not gonna do this. I don't come second to no. I'm every woman. So if you want me
Well,
to be Tina, Marie, or whoever the next day, that's all personalities. So you don't need no other woman. And that's my take on it.
She said, I'm a full package, nothing more or less.
Right.
In today's time, you could not only play second fiddle to a woman, it could be second fiddle to a man too. So
True, you're right. But that's up to you to pick up those radars. You know what's going on. You know if your man like the other way. That's up to you to look at and pick out this way.
which is a point I wanted to bring up or whatever. Okay, so I know this is pretty much off topic of the theme of the show or whatever, but if I'll ask you ladies this: if you was dealing with somebody, right, and you had some type of vibe or feeling that they were under like in the closet or whatever, bisexual or whatever, would you confront them about it or just look for more subtle signs?
Speechless.
I had experience with that.
Okay.
I handle it both ways, honestly. One, because I was already deeply involved in the relationship. So I wanted that person to know, like, I'm a very open person, so it wouldn't bother me. It's just honesty. Either I can deal with what's to come, or I can't deal with what's to come. Because if I can't please all levels, at the end of you bound to step out. So I should have a choice. I was in another relationship where, because this person has so many trust issues, like if you didn't have facts or proof, it was like, don't come to me. So I had to get proof because I had suspicions. I had to say, I'm not dumb. So either tell me so we can figure out what we're going to do, or go about your way. Because I already know this is what it is. It's just either I'm going to stay with it or I'm not. But if you can't be honest, there's no relationship, because what are we building? I can't even trust you.
Right. That's true.
Because now you open the door for me to get hurt one way or the other. If you're not protecting yourself, if you're not being honest, if you're not taking care of what you need to take care of, or the person you messing around with ain't taking care of, at the end of the day, no matter what, it still comes back. And not many people look at that or think of that in that sense, because they in their own mind doing their own thing. No, at the end of the day, I'm still at risk. If this is your lifestyle, if this is what it is, give me that chance to say yes or no.
See, because you got some people who will just be like, look, I don't know, I don't fully know. So if I don't know, if I don't get that validation that it's actually true, then you know what, I'm gonna keep it moving, whatever. I'm gonna live my best life and just hope for the best or whatever.
Yeah, but then you having that is good sometimes, but baby, when you go get your 6-month checkup and the doctor say you got something else, you're gonna be a mad ass.
Oh yeah.
True.
You're gonna be a mad ass. So before we even get
I'll
there,
set up some tests, and then we'll go ahead and ask my question. So I won't just come out because I don't want to offend the person if they won't like that. But I will set up my own test. I was told, I'm friends with everybody. So I was told, if you make one, I would tell him to pick something up. Tell him to take a shower, pick something up. And the test is, if you can see straight through, then yes. He is.
Wow,
So in that
you
case, if I see that, I'm going to ask him, hey, you know, what's going on? Do you do
Wait,
this? Please let me know. This
pause. Wait, straight through. Wait, well, hold up. You taking a whole
yeah,
Superman
yeah,
vision look right there. Like, wait a minute.
that's wild right there. Yeah.
Word.
You gave a whole code name, a whole code, or through the whole.
What if, but what if he's the one shooting the arrows though?
That's
right, right,
facts.
right.
That's
You're
facts
right.
though. That's facts though.
Well,
Listen.
then if he's shooting the arrows, that means that he want to do you there all the time. And if you always want to go back there, then I'm gonna ask you anyway.
It's like Tia said in the comments, honesty is the best policy, sweetheart. It don't even matter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right, right.
We actually had I don't know if you can see it, Wally. There's a comment by Miss Hall, Tamaja
Okay.
Hall, Tahaja Hall. There are those who don't. Can you post it? You
Yeah,
see it? All right. So it says there are those who don't have feelings for their ex, but it still doesn't work because the primary parent may feel like the other parent isn't doing their part, which may seem like feelings. So
that's a good point. That's a good point. Where the one parent feel like the other parent isn't adequate enough, so that plays a
right,
role. At the end of
Yeah,
the
but
day, that still makes it about your like yourself and not the child, so to speak. Because you should just focus on making it the situation as best possible for the child,
but
regardless
wouldn't
what he's doing.
right? But wouldn't that want you to see who they're involved with? Because if that person is stepping up where you feel he's slacking or she's slacking, it will only make the situation better for the child.
That's true. Like I said, it could depend on what the grounds of that parent feel like the other parent isn't doing, their part. It depends
Right.
on what like how, what how do they describe what not doing their part is? Is it
hmm
not not I don't know, not making them do enough reading, not making them do enough writing, not taking them out. Like, what is it? Not feeding them the way you feel they need to eat or whatever. Like what is it? So
Right.
that could be multiple things. That could be multiple factors. But I can see it can play a role.
Yeah,
I
I
can
agree. I
oh,
agree with that.
all right. So we got
What's out me?
got a comment we got a comment from Tawana Robinson. No, I'm joking.
I'm gonna stay on here. What in the world?
You about to be like, wait a minute, somebody stole my name.
Yeah, I know, right?
Hold up. Who in my account? Wait, my daughter on my phone, y'all. Hold on. Let me stop.
All right, so before we,
Any
I guess we,
questions? Are you good to go?
you said what? Nah,
If there's
we're
any
about
more
to,
questions, are we good to go?
yeah, we're about to wrap this up in a bit, whatever. But here's, I guess, what I'll ask for the final take on things, whatever. So after our discussion on the true reason for marriage, do you guys have a change of heart as far as if it's security or love? So I guess we'll start with you, Ray.
Man, what Tina said it best. What's love got to do with let them pay them bills?
Lady M, what's your take on it?
I'm gonna say love, and I was always told get you a man that love you more than you love him, and that's when you go. and
See, the
that
comment
always
section
will
say
actually
security.
work out.
And Tawana, I know which direction Tawana going, but we still want to hear your part.
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. Listen, at the end of the day, relationships come on different levels.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. It's different. Just child. Oh,
What's up?
it just comes down to different levels. I'm sorry. Each relationship is built on different things.
I agree. Like I said, man, for me, I
I'm
gotta go.
But you know what? I
before in
feel
and out.
I
Love,
feel I
wish.
feel it's got to be 50-50, honestly. If
Yeah,
we're going to undertake, it's got to be 50-50 because you need security and you also need love. And they go hand in hand together.
yeah.
'Cause
See,
you could feel love, but if you're not secure, you're not gonna want to be with that person.
and if you don't, and if you, yeah, you're right. If you don't feel love, you can hold on with security. If you're not secure, you can hold on with love. So you're working on that aspect. You can go hand in hand both ways. But for me, I still feel ultimately will trump love as far as
What?
You still feel security or Trump love?
yeah,
You know
when it's
what?
You
long
know what?
term,
I just
long
think
term.
that when it comes to we could bring this factor for independent women, just like she said earlier. I can make my own money. So what do you have to fall on? What you
I got a
offer
PhD.
me, but I can't offer myself. It's the same thing when it comes to that and it comes to sex. What can you offer me? I can't offer myself. By all means, can you enlighten me just a little bit? Feed fire to that feed real quick. You that fire
PhD.
up.
Universal moments that you will never experience without me being in your life. That's what I think.
Yep, yep, yep.
That's exactly what it is.
That's true. That's
That's
true.
exactly what it is. Look, because let's be honest. Let's be honest here. No matter if you're an independent woman or not, when you dating somebody or whatever, you're gonna have moments with that person that you will never experience nowhere else.
That's priceless.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But that's
Put it
my
like this. Put it like
Exactly.
this.
And that's
Put it
something
like
you
this.
can't get regardless if you make your own money or not.
See. Here's the thing. When
but I
you're
could
young and when you're young and living your best life, it's all good because you're making the money. But soon as reality hit in, when you get in that 50-year bracket, and that's when reality start like, damn, this big house is looking lonely as hell.
It's like,
And
dang, I ain't
you
never
know,
really take no
like,
bay trips. Like,
it's lonely as hell, 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 hell.
listen, I agree. There's always gonna be moments with people without them, whether you're independent or not. But once again, with the way the world is today, people had that security and was miserable as hell.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Miserable as
The
hell.
empty house. You can have the
So,
security and
so,
he never
so
home.
if the house might not be empty, but nobody's home, now
Yeah.
what? Now what? So once
What's
again, sometimes it's not even about that.
yeah.
I'm
Uh,
sorry. It's like this is why I keep saying there's so many levels and so many key factors that plays into every relationship. Me and my friend was just talking about this because her exact words was her grandmother stayed with her grandfather not because of money or what he had, but the fact that he always had her back. She never fell.
mm,
She no matter what transpired, he always had her back. One who always had your back, you know that you're gonna be okay. It didn't have to do with what he could do for her. It was having that down moment. He's saying, we're going to get up and get this done. You see what
Support.
I'm saying? That support sometimes is not financial.
Support.
That support
support,
is, and
support.
communication is a whole nother level. So it's a lot of different factors. And
you,
every relationship is different. Some people, you're right. That's all they want is a check. Some people, that's all
Right.
they want is love.
or
Some
that
people,
or that life insurance
it's like,
policy. You know
baby,
what I'm
just what
saying?
it is. I
Yeah,
can do whatever else I need.
But you
yeah.
know what?
I don't categorize security with just financial.
I
I
want
said,
to I
No,
want to
I know that.
I want to pose a question to y'all. Okay, okay.
oh, before you do, for those who are watching, don't forget to smash that like button so it help with the algorithm. So we'll appreciate it. But go on, Ray. What was your question?
So, um, let's say each one of y'all are married or whatever, right?
Okay.
Do you think it's wrong for you to ask your spouse to leave a living will, to leave stuff everything to you in case of like, let's say they were in case anything happens to them, or do you think it's more right for the spouse to leave a living will, to leave everything for his child? Let's say your spouse has a child outside of y'all marriage. Do you
Okay.
think it's okay for your spouse to
My
have a living will?
spouse to have a living will to take care of his family, me, kids, everybody included. He leave it as he wishes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. At the end of the day, as I would, he should. Period.
Okay.
And that's a discussion when we're married and looking
Yeah.
down the road and we're building our foundation. We need to have
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, God forbid we both out this damn world. Who taking care of what? So once again, these are conversations all these pre-relationship, premarital people should be having in the first place. Because once you're dead and gone, you really got to ask, what's left for your kids to have? Is it debt or is it worth? I'm just
I
saying.
agree.
A lot of
I
our
agree.
communities don't have that conversation. You see more GoFundMes than you
Oh
see
yeah,
athletic funds.
Yeah,
that's
go for
true.
me.
You
That's true.
see more trade schools than college degrees because of affording it and paying out of pocket. So
But
these
you
are
know what?
conversations that needs to be
Yeah,
had.
that's the
That's how I
thing.
feel about that.
That's where it comes with, the whole financial literacy thing, because a lot of people, especially in the black community, we don't be discussing about wills and stuff like that when we pass away. We think where we got that immortality going on where nothing's gonna
Mhm.
happen to us. But anything can happen. So but yeah, that was definitely a good question. What's your take on that, Lady M?
I mean, it's legitimate to definitely be prepared. You do want to be, but if you just come into a marriage and you asking me about wills and what have you, I might look at you like, let me check my food and make sure you ain't slide nothing in it or whatever. I'm looking at you sideways. This is what I'm sorry. That's my opinion. This,
I ain't
but
So I
mad at
got,
you though. I might be looking at you with
I
two faces
so
too.
Ray,
I
Ray,
got,
you
I got.
never gave your take. Ray, you never gave your take on it.
Listen, me personally, I believe you should have separate wills, one for your wife, one for your child. Leave some things for your wife, leave some things for your child. That's how I feel. At the end of the day, because I feel both should definitely be taken care of. Now I got a question for y'all. Let's
But
say
wait. What about the side chick?
you know what the side chick too, the side chick too.
No, she better
What?
stay in her lane. That's what she better stay in her lane. That's what better happen. I
You
ain't
right
know about
though.
this whole match. I
Did
better
that
not
last-
find out when you dead and gone. Because I'm gonna knock you 8 feet like Padilla would have said.
But nah, go on. We had to have that laughter because
So so
everybody was a little serious there. You know what I mean? So,
I got an even more interesting question for y'all.
all right, what's
So
up?
let's say you guys are married, right? And your spouse has kicked the bucket. Should you, as the stepfather or stepmother, be in the child's life, even if you don't have any kids for your spouse that passed away, in the stepchild's life?
Yeah, I believe so. Especially depending on the connection you have with them and everything. Yeah,
There you
a
go.
lot of times when you have like with stepkids, a lot of times they don't have connection or ties to like their biological father or mother like that. So it's like the household that they're in, like that's home for them. But even if it's a situation where that's not the case, and you've been raised like with this kid since they were a kid, like you're gonna have an attachment to them, no matter like
right.
regardless. They're gonna have that attachment to them, especially if
I
you have the mind.
agree.
Especially
It's
if you
like
have the mind, it's about the child and the betterment of the child and everything like that. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, you should be in that child's life.
All right, all right.
Why?
Miss
Jay
Why?
M.
said the same thing.
why
He said that's your child.
Yeah. Why do you think like?
Child.
Why do you think you get step parents who, when like the child say you're not my real dad or whatever, that hurts.
Oh yeah,
Or
that
you're not
Yeah.
hurts.
my real mom, that hurts. You get what I'm saying? So if something like that have that level of hurt, of course you should be in that child's life.
Now, what if the mother or the dad of the child doesn't want you in their life? Do you fight for that right?
Well, it depends. What's the age bracket we're talking about? If they're young, if they're a minor or whatever, then you, at the end of the day, you really have no say in the matter. The
Right.
best you can hope for is when the child get older, they seek for you.
Mm.
That's the best you could do. Because once the parent lay the law down, yo, stay away from my child, you can't do nothing about it. Unless the child sneaks, like try to seek you and sneak or whatever. And even if they try and sneak or whatever, I'm not too sure if that's against the law or whatever the case may be.
But
But
but but that's my thing though. But then you have step parents who go into court and they file for custody of the child.
I was
yes,
gonna say that because I'm in that. I'm living and breathing that situation currently.
Oh
I'm
wow.
living, breathing that situation currently. I'm literally going to court, fighting for custody. No, their father's not deceased, but I'm pretty much a support system. But when it comes, because they are girls, I've been in their life since they were babies, 8 months
yep,
old and 4 years old. So they're 11 and 15 now. So I'm living and breathing that. And at the end of the day, as if my girls call me, yes, I said my girls. If those girls call me at any point in time, I will be there. Now, it is hard because you have the mother who don't want me involved, don't like the
Hmm.
fact that I'm involved, even though she preaches a different tune sometimes. But the girls know what it is. So they always seek for me because I have that bond and that
Yep.
relationship with them.
Yep.
So
Yep.
now it's proven to the courts where I stand with these children. And if I am that mom figure, because you could be a mother, but it takes a
Yeah.
lot to be a mom. And that's how the girls acknowledge it. Yes, she's
Yeah.
my mother and I love her, but this is my mom.
Let me
And she's
ask you something,
in
Juana.
my life. So what they
Let-
do now, the girls have a law guardian, they have their counselors, and that is how they're heard. They also have to speak. This is just the beginning, and I know it's a long road ahead of us. Like I said, I've been through it. My mom, I'm one of 18. I know what they're getting ready to go through. But for once, they are heard, and that's their biggest fight with their mom. Is you don't listen to us. You care about your fake baby dolls and your babies more than you spend time with us. There's multiple things that come into play. Is it hard? Yes, it is. Does it hurt that these girls got to go through it? Absolutely, because truth of the matter is your action speaks, and those girls heard it. And the girls will tell you on their own how they feel about. You don't have to say nothing. You ask them one question, they sing like canaries. That's really what it comes down to. But I love them like they're my own, and that's really there. No one can take that from me.
Let me ask you something, Tawana, because I know, like, if it comes to like biological mother and parents and stuff like this, and they're separating, if they go to court, if the child is old enough, the child can kind of say like, with like,
So we have
on it.
that situation right now. We have a 15-year-old and
That's
an
what,
11-year-old.
that's what I was going to ask you. That's what I was going to ask you.
Both kids
Now,
can talk, but
no,
what happens is that
what I was going to say was, is that does that still hold true, even though like you're not the biological parent and you're
yes,
contesting it against the biological parent?
yes, because what
Okay.
happened is it's like proving your case basically. You can't
Okay.
ask to be a legal guardian of a child with no proven why you should be that legal guardian. You got to have a test, basically your own testimony, your own statement.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
if me say, God forbid, their father passed before this is finished, because I'm
Okay.
already involved, they're going to ask me questions. They're going to look for a living will. They're going to look for information. Now, whatever I state and continue to push in their investigation, as well as whatever the law guardian says, whatever the counselor says, all that comes into play in the state of New Jersey. So believe
Oh,
it or
okay.
not, I can win residential and custody, whether it's joint custody or sole custody of those kids, determine of what the testimonies and statements have become on behalf of the situation overall.
Okay.
So if they see that the parent is non-fit and the environment in which those kids are supposed to be sitting in with that parent is not feasible for those kids, absolutely they can lose all custody. And they do give that parent, because they're biologically theirs, time. They give them psych evaluations, therapy,
Okay.
counseling,
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
them. By the time we come back to court and it's not done and taken care of, that's it.
Then you lost. That's a L.
That's it. That's your
Yeah.
loss. Because in that defense now, you was given all opportunity with everything we had to offer to help you. There's no excuse now. Even though we can see your financials or your support that you had, but you still didn't take it so far. We're gonna give you one shot. It's a one-shot deal. And if you don't take it, that's your loss. You see what I'm saying? So people, what men don't know is half the time they have more rights than they realize. And it's all about proving your case. This is why I said black and white speaks louder, because of the emails, because of the text messages, because of all this. The case was built so solid. She didn't have one piece of evidence while she was trying to take the kids back.
Mm, okay.
She has not been in touch with in contact with the kids for months.
So pretty much for those that are listening, if you in a custody war, definitely reach out to Tawana because she'll fill you in on the details on
Yeah.
what steps you got to take and everything like that. Because believe there's a lot of people that need help with that and need
I think
relief.
this is definitely a discussion we need to have.
Oh
We
yeah,
can do a video on it. Like I
yeah,
said,
yeah,
my ex-husband
yeah.
has so much
That's
information that he's learned through this process. Same thing with y'all child support issues. You got more control, definitely in this world today than you know of. It's not given in a book like, here, you're on child support, let me help you. It's not like that. It's like the system is rigged and built for you to say, forget it. You want your child support, keep it and get out
oh
of my.
yeah, definitely,
It's not built to say I'm going to be active in my child's life. I don't care how much child support. That's what you get. Whatever I do is my personal business. At the
That's
end of the day,
that's with anything. Even if you look at state programs and all of that, the paperwork, they want blood. They literally want blood from
yes,
you.
blood, sweat, and tears. The rib, the right rib.
Yeah,
They want
yeah,
it
man.
all.
Yep.
And honestly, I promise you, that's what really helps, and what is helping us in our case is because this stems all the way from when they was younger. So many people have literally identified so many things from the school, from the emails, from the teachers. Like when I say there's a folder so thick, at the end of the day, black and white speaks in a court is like a legal documentation, whether it's notarized or not. I promise you. I promise you. So don't dare think for a second to block those numbers and delete that. Let the emails run.
Shout out to JR who was in the chat section. He's about to leave out of here. Thank you for viewing and the support and your commentary in the video. And again, let me see what's going through the comment section
They
again.
gonna off in the comments.
Yeah. Let me. Like I
You guys
said,
stay up, stay blessed, stay strong, stay positive, and just know whatever you're going through, it always comes to a pass too.
Definitely. All right, so I guess we could wrap this bad boy up. It was fun having this conversation or whatever. Like I said, man, we know where everybody stand as far as love is concerned.
Facts.
And be in love with two different people or whatever. But yeah, we gotta do this again, man, because this was fun. I'm loving this live thing. I'm loving this live thing. Yeah, and those who's watching, hit that subscribe button, like, share, and definitely join the Facebook Matter Opinion group. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. And we appreciate those who is here and viewing. And catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Peace.